Hello, Angry Pepper. This is a video of how one could adapt a Polish staple dish pierogi to a situation where you can't use all fresh ingredients or make your own dough. And I will pop a picture of a pierogi. See if I can. I'm just going to bring a bigger one up on my phone so that that might not work so well. That didn't work, but anyway, if you just Google pierogi, you'll see all kinds of pictures and recipes for it. There are all kinds of variations, but the traditional is mashed potatoes seasoned with onion, salt, and pepper, and sometimes adding cottage cheese. And the one time I made it for a large international food fair where people were making foods representing several different countries, I made pierogi, and I made the egg noodle dough from scratch using a recipe that I nipped from my mother. And I just happened to upsize it, and I made the dough from scratch, and I had a whole bunch of people helping me do it. But basically, if you are using ingredients that are in your emergency food stash, you may not be able to have real eggs to mix into your dough. You may have to use powdered eggs and reconstitute it with water. And same with the mashed potatoes. Instead of peeling, boiling, or frying them and then mashing them, you might have to just use instant mashed potatoes and just add the seasoning. And if you want a cheese flavor, you would simply add a cheese powder like you might find in the mac and cheese, or some other cheese powders that are in other convenience foods, and the flour, and you might have to just tweak the flour recipe, maybe make it like the bannock dough that you see a lot in these bushcraft videos where they're making the bannock dough. You might have to do it that way. But if you substitute the powdered ingredients like powdered egg or powdered cheese and still add your seasonings if you happen to have them, you can still do the pierogi. You can hand form them. You can boil them after you form them, and then maybe fry them up a little bit in any fat that you might have rendered from an animal that you have killed after hunting. Use the fat from that, and you could fry it to brown it, something like that, if you had the ability to do that, or just eat it after it's boiled. So that is how you can adapt pierogi, and you can put meat in it if you have some ground meat, or just little trimmings from an animal that you had killed and you had butchered. You can put some of the small bits of meat in there to make it like a one-pot meal, so to speak. So sometimes meat is a filling in pierogi. So think of it like the Polish ravioli, but pepper-fried. Hope you enjoyed that, and catch you on the flip side.